You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
A new chapter this morning in the battle against Ebola.
Nickelback are back. The multi-platinum band has just announced a new album and a North American summer.
Until you see the flaming butthole, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Something good for ya. All right, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Something Good For You podcast, where the two of us are going to be sifting through the bullshit to try to bring some holiday cheer for you. What are you doing?
Crowds are what? That's crowd noise.
Oh, okay. On my end, I hear nothing. I know it's going to come through in your recording. On my end, I hear nothing, so I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. A nothing crowd. Yeah. I'm one of your two co-hosts, Alex Stiff, and sitting with me as always is the one and only Dave Weimar.
I'm
trying to figure out which way to point now. I don't know which way Zoom's going to record this, so I'm going to look like a buffoon pointing in both directions, but I don't know where Dave's going to land. But yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas from us over here at Something Good For You. Usually, if you guys have paid attention for the last few years, it's usually been like a big round table of awful gentlemen, doing all their shit. But man, it has been hard as hell to get everyone in a room this year. I mean, at least everyone's been working. Like, no one really slacking. No one just going like, I don't want to do this no more. Everyone's fucking busy. Work is just taking it out of us.
Yeah, well, whatever.
But hey, we're here. I got some Baileys in my coffee. Dave's all cheered up. He's got his Bose on his headphones. So we're going to rock this shit out.
Yeah, it's Christmas. Got my little Nightmare for Christmas fucking sweater on. You got your Darth Vader one?
Oh yeah, I got a Darth Vader one. I've also got a custom Santa Claus hat that Mom made for me years ago. That's got
nice.
A whole bunch of cheetah print and, skull shit on it. So really cool. And if you guys want to figure out what the fuck we're talking about, if you're still listening to the stupid audio version of this, pop your ass on over to YouTube and watch us live and in the flesh.
YouTube.
And get scared. And get scared by our ugly mugs.
So, are you a Merry Christmas guy, or are you a Happy Holidays guy, or are you both? Like I always go, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Just to make sure I piss everybody off. Yeah.
Honestly, the thing is if I wanted to pick the angsty answer, there is no correct answer. Because you're going to piss someone, you hit the nail on the head, you're going to piss someone off no matter what you say. If you say Merry Christmas, you're going to piss someone off. If you say Happy Holidays, you're going to piss the Christians off.
Yeah.
I can't pick a side because exactly what you said, everyone's going to get mad. If I'm being completely honest, both this and this is about as festive as I ever get. It's like, we're of course going to talk about some Christmas music and stuff, and I've got plenty to say, but it's not that I've really listened to this willingly. It's not that I do a lot of this Christmas shit willingly.
I love Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, I do. It's just a good time of year, It's, especially living in Texas for so long. It's like, the weather's starting to get a little cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Even in Texas, it can drop down to like in the 90s. So, but originally from Seattle, it was cold and stuff. But I don't know. I just all the memories from being a kid. I'd get so excited when Rudolph came on. Dude, that was it.
So Rudolph was the favorite of the classic Rankin and Bass specials.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's like one that's implanted.
Really?
In my memory that's what, because it was always put out early,
Yeah, it would usually come out like around Thanksgiving is when they'd air it on TV.
Yeah, either that or the day after Black Friday or something.
Mm-hmm. Knowing all the kids were going to be stuck at home watching shit.
Yeah.
But no, so it's like, I don't know. So back to the Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. I guess just Merry Christmas because it's just simply what I was raised on. It's like, being 31, the Happy Holidays shit didn't really start going into effect until I was in my late teens.
Well, the thing about the Happy Holidays thing, this is the way I always thought of it. It was like it was a greeting for the season. It wasn't like, because we can't say Christ, Merry Christmas. You can't say that. So we're going to say Happy Holidays. I remember Happy Holidays way before any fucking of this bullshit, like in the 60s, 70s. It was like,
and I think
that
Thanksgiving,
Christmas, New Year's. Those are am I wrong? Are those holidays?
No, you're absolutely correct. And I mean, and you can't forget about, stuff like Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and everything else that also happens this time of year. So, I mean, all of these things would be holidays. I think you also hit something kind of interesting too, because I believe that this is one of those few, I keep wanting to say territorial, it's one of those few regional differences that weren't really discussed before the internet age. You were accustomed to that being in the Seattle, Washington area that throughout time and history has been a more liberal leaning part of the U.S., even through the 60s and 70s. So you guys were probably more conscious of that and not pushing so hard in the Bible Belt. Yeah. Like I was raised in North Carolina. So it took until the early thousands with a lot of the internet intertwining for that to even become part of the idea of a lexicon, just something that we mentioned. Happy Holidays, you saw that on something that just seemed kind of generic. It's like, that's not for Christmas. That's Happy Holidays. That's not even Christmas. Now you see Happy Holidays and you associate it with Christmas.
Yeah, it was the bumper stickers that really got me for going first with the, keep Christ in Christmas type of thing, It's like,
and you saw those, like in those early to mid 2000s, right?
Yeah, it was 2000s. That was like when I was in Texas, though. Yeah.
And seeing, I honestly believe that is one of those symptoms of the internet and a faster digital age, just a lot more people sharing their opinions on that, and just to the point of it actually being changed in the public lexicon. I don't know.
Yeah. I've always been, keep Santa in Christmas. Why keep Christ in Christmas? The fucking manger is like the worst fucking, Christmas decoration there is. It's like, fuck that. Give me Santa,
How long did your kids go along believing Santa, or how long did you allow them to fall under that illusion? Sorry, kids, for anyone listening.
Well, I mean, one can argue that they still believe, as I do.
Oh, okay. So explain that thought process, because I've heard a few people say that. So what's your stance on that?
Oh, I just, as long as you believe, I mean, fuck, keep Christ in Christmas, what's fucking the odds of that, Come on. Let's all wake up, all right? So I choose to believe in Santa.
Oh, my God.
So there you go.
Fair.
I mean, it's just as much equal, right? So why can't you just say it?
Without this turn into a religion topic, there's a lot more scriptures and books written about Christ than there was Santa. There's at least a followable canon with Jesus. You can follow that canon. There's multiple books. There's a whole multiverse with the whole Jesus thing, okay? We're going into outer space. We got talking lizards and snakes and shit. We got guys and girls figuring out they got nudie parts. We got fucking whales and swallowing motherfuckers and talking to them and shit. So we have all this lore.
Too, though. There's just on the Hallmark Channel alone, you have over 5 million Christmas movies.
Right, but they can never get Santa's beginnons right. Everyone has a different theological standpoint of who and where Santa came from.
As Jesus.
No, there's one
there
main
are very
book.
many different versions of that.
But none of those are correct.
Oh, okay. You're right. None of those are correct. The key word is none.
But yeah, but within the family, did y'all ever have that discussion of, or did they have that sit down and being like, Dad, what's up with Santa?
Oh yeah, dude, my oldest figured it out really quick,
Really?
Yeah, and my youngest we tried to ride for as long as we could, and my oldest would help.
Really?
Yeah, because we had those elves on the shelves too, and so we would move it, and being lazy parents that we are, she would like move it every fucking day if we forgot, so she was on top of it too.
See, you guys were a lot more attentive with that shit than my folks were. My folks were just like, fucking go to sleep early or Santa ain't coming.
Oh, yeah,
that's about all I got.
God, I don't miss getting up fucking early and building all the toys. Because when Santa brought the toys, they were not wrapped. Santa didn't wrap gifts. He took them out of his bag and just set them up, you know?
Oh, yeah, of course. You got to keep the part of the lore right.
Yeah, so I had to fucking get, not stay up all night fucking building that shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I find that odd because so for me, I remember the day, me personally, I remember the day I found out that Santa wasn't real. And I don't remember how old I was, but I can never forget the afternoon because it is just ingrained in my memory. Had to be sometime in November. It was a Saturday. Mom calls me from work, asked me if something was in her closet because she was looking for it, because I guess she was shopping, wanted to make sure she still had a certain article of clothing that would work with what she's looking for. She sends me to her closet to go look or check on something. And then as I'm going in there and trying to find what it is, I look up and I see a white trash bag, and pressed up against the trash bag was a new Game Boy game. And I'm like, ooh, that's for me. That's for my Christmas present. Fuck yes, I'm getting a game, because it was for the Game Boy I didn't have as well.
Right.
So that gave me 2 hints. I was just like, oh, I got that game and I'm getting the new system. Yes. Completely forgot about it. Christmas Eve rolls around, and in my family on Christmas Eve is when we open up all the family gifts.
Right.
You go to sleep, wake up the next morning, Santa comes, Christmas is basically fucking done with, the kids fuck off all day and the parents sleep all day. So Christmas Eve rolls around, I didn't get the Game Boy or the game, but I wasn't thinking about it because I was just happy and grateful for what I did get. I was never one of those kids of like, I didn't get yada yada. It was, I didn't get yada yada, but I got this. Yay! I was always grateful. Next morning, Santa drops off a new Game Boy and those fucking games I saw, and it literally like the anime moments of like where the background turns to black and like the teardrop forms. It was just like all of a sudden it's like all the flashbacks, and it took me like 2 weeks to say anything, but I am just in agony over this, being like, oh my God.
You're so excited for the Game Boy and you're so destroyed because there is no
Yes. Oh my God, I figured it out. I ruined it for myself.
But see, there's still a fucking Santa though. It was
Well, see, so when I finally mustered up, because the reason I was asking you like your stance on it and how you worded it, is this the same way Mom worded it to me? A few weeks later, it's like sometime in January, I was just like, hey, is Santa real? Is he really real? And she just kind of like, she never lied to me ever in my entire life. So like when I asked her that, I saw her weighing it. Mm-hmm. She was doing the whole, lied to this kid and he is asking me a very direct question. What the fuck do I do? And then she flipped it right back to me. She goes, well, do you believe in Santa? And I was like, it's hard for me to believe that someone is coming in our house in the middle of the night and leaving presents. And she was like, okay, well, unfortunately, you kind of have figured that out. No one's coming in the house and leaving presents. The presents that get left are from me and Dad. She goes, however, they're given to you in the spirit of Saint Nick. There's certain just traditions. And she explained like tradition and this, that, and the other. And she's like, I hope you don't think I was lying to you. She's like, I just wanted to make something special. And at that point, I got it. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, do I stop getting presents on Christmas Day now that I know? She's like, no. She goes, just know that Santa presents are, us. And she was actually thankful because like the following year is when we kind of hit like some financial hard times. Mm-hmm. So she was able to explain and be like, look, now that like Santa ain't real, let me explain something to you. She's like,
this is how the dollar works.
Yeah. She's like, we're in a thing right now called a recession.
When you leave that milk out, that hurts us. A lot. But it was really cool. Work it back right to what you were saying about building the toys. I found the love of Santa again when my little sister was born.
So that was only maybe like a 2 or 3 year gap.
Yeah.
And then my sister was born, and then the torch got passed on. Yeah. Now you get to help with Santa. And I ate that up. I loved that aspect. So no, I can relate to your oldest on that one and being like, oh yeah, let's make that special for the youngest in the family.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, in all honesty too, I'm really glad they don't believe anymore, because that's a lot easier on me. A lot.
See, y'all don't do like the in the spirit of Santa shit anymore?
Oh, well, they'll usually get gifts from Santa.
I was going to say, how old is the youngest?
13, going to be 14 here in February.
Gotcha. So. Yeah, I mean, that's still the age where, you still get the big present comes from Santa, the in the spirit of Santa. I can think back, like when I got my guitar, Santa brought that. Anytime I got a game system, Santa brought that.
No, my parents always took credit for the good shit, dude. Santa was kind of a douche when I was a little kid with presents. I get lifesavers and Pez and, stupid shit Santa always got us. But no, he did bring the fucking, I don't know, a lot of like G.I. Joe shit,
Mm-hmm.
And like the G.I. Joe tower and shit, and that that you had to build up and shit, that he would bring that because it would be always assembled under the tree. So
did your folks make like Christmas and Santa real special for you, and is that the reason you're passing it on, or was it just kind of a whatever in your family and you want to make that difference for your kids?
I think not so much that they made it special, that I just got really excited about it.
Gotcha. It was a very much you thing. You personally got inspired and happy about it.
Yeah. So, I wanted to have my kids share that same feeling,
Your family probably also wasn't fighting a lot during Christmas either, were they?
Yeah, they were.
Really?
Yeah, well, because my dad was a staunch Republican, and my mom was a Catholic. Mm-hmm. So, we'd have to go to church all the fucking time when I was a kid. My uncle was gay, so yeah, there was always fighting.
Yeah,
always.
no more to even be said on that one. As soon as you said that, and I was just like, ooh, and that's a family function. Wonder how that goes.
Yeah.
Duck.
Yeah, in the one of the most liberal states there is too, my dad was always fucking starting arguments with people.
God. See, and I found that interesting. So maybe I just have to, because everything, changes and, quote unquote heals with time. Not to make this sound more dramatic than it is, but it's like, I feel like one of the reasons I'm not the biggest fan of Christmas is between my grandmother and my stepfather, not Eric. Clarification, since I've spoken about Eric numerous times on the show, I don't want folks getting the wrong idea. Not Eric. Eric was always awesome. The stepfather before him. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know your real dad?
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
We're still in contact.
So are you still in contact with your first stepdad?
No. That would be my sister's biological father.
Okay. So there's still a connection there though, because you have a sister that's so you can't just exit out.
But I have.
Okay.
I haven't talked to him in like nearly 10 years, so I think I have.
And he's made no attempt either, so.
No, not at all. So that's why I'm just like, nyeh. But no, between him and my grandmother, they made like a good 8 to 10 year span of Christmases just like absolute bullshit. Like especially my grandmother, and I'm not trying to speak ill on the dead, God rest her soul, but however, it's not a family secret. She was a tyrant around Christmas and just like would lose her shit at the drop of a hat. One little thing go wrong. Okay, you watched The Bear.
Yeah, Bear's great.
That Christmas episode,
oh God, yeah,
made me emotional.
Yeah, see,
because I saw so much of my family in that episode. I was kind of laughing for about the first 10 minutes, and then my girl even noticed I got real fucking quiet, and I was just kind of intently watching, and she was like, "You like this episode?" And I'm like, "It's very real." And like I kind of talked to her a little bit afterwards. She could tell I wasn't shaken, but it was just very odd to see something like
you having an episode of PTSD going on with
a little bit, because I've seen dysfunctional family Christmas things being portrayed. Never that visceral. And our family was very visceral in those moments. And like with me and mom trying to like corral emotions and yelling and screaming and blowing up and all this other stuff. So just witnessing that, that's a little taste of my Christmases growing up. So that's one of the reasons I've had a little bit of trouble kind of finding the joy myself in adulthood. Because anytime I've also tried to create that joy, unfortunately, it's been with a partner that may no longer like be a part of my life. So then the Christmases when I don't have the partner, I'm reminded of what I don't have and little shit like that. And then maybe the little bit of thing that I have to work through of, okay, it's okay to form the memory, even if it doesn't last. That kind of thing. It's almost the thing of trying to understand this can be a fun time of year. Yeah, I'm just not there.
I don't know. I mean, my family fucking argued all the time too. No, not anywhere near like that bear episode though. Where he's like, throw the fork.
No, it literally the only thing that was being portrayed in that episode that never happened was there was never any physical violence toward anyone. There was a time or two that things were thrown at each other, but like intentionally, like maybe a foot away from their head just to kind of prove a point type deal.
Yeah, nobody's that great of an athlete to pull that shit off because something fucking bad can happen. So,
but like no hands were like to kind of temper ideas. No hands were ever laid on each other. It was a lot of verbal and emotional distress.
Yeah, same. I still like the holidays though. I mean, it starts with Halloween, dude, and it ends on New Year's. It's pretty fucking cool.
Motherfucker, I almost had Halloween ruined for me a few years ago, and I've been able to finally reclaim that one. Like, I'm tired of all these holidays getting ruined for me. Like, goddamn, I want to enjoy myself.
How did Halloween get ruined for you?
That's a story off air. I'm not talking about
Someone put acid in my fucking Jolly Rancher, man. Fucking trip.
Might as well. They might as well put a fucking a razor blade in my goddamn candy apple with the way that fucked me up. That's a story for another time and maybe publicly in a few years.
Oh man, it's therapy, bro. Get it out.
It is. This isn't something therapy for you.
Maybe the next Halloween episode.
You're going to store and log that, and then you're going to be like, all right, so Halloween 5 years ago, what happened?
Dude, I'm not going to store and log fucking that in fucking 10 minutes, man. It's going to be gone.
Be like, what happened to you at Halloween 10 years ago? It all started with a trip to Atlanta.
Have you ever played word association? Like someone throws out a word and you have to fucking rapidly say something back, like dog.
Cat.
Exactly, yeah. Do it with band names. So I'm going to throw out a band, and then first thing that comes to your mind. And try not to clear your brain and not like, sucks, great. Words like that,
Let's do it.
Okay, AC/DC.
Classic.
Okay. Not great or sucks, but yeah, I got you. Rolling Stones. Classic.
Iconic.
Beatles.
Irreplaceable.
Judas Priest.
We both know.
That's perfect.
The first thing that came to mind. You even looked at me knowing.
Nirvana.
Dead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you said first word that comes to mind. It's not going to always be nice.
No, that's reality too. Yeah. Kurt is dead, and so is Nirvana. I mean, they live on they live like Santa.
They're still here if you believe in them, guys.
They live in recordings.
They live in our hearts.
All right, cool.
All right, well, let me give you a few.
Okay.
Ramones.
Fun.
Okay. Queen.
Awesome. But that's, I can't. Yeah, that's.
Your own rules, buddy. I was going to let it slide.
First thing that popped into my head, though, enormous.
Okay. All right. Quiet Riot. Jelly.
Yeah, I don't know why it popped in my head. As far as rock and roll goes, it's pretty fucking jelly, isn't it?
What does that mean, though? Like, it's just...
doesn't really have any substance. It's just wiggles around with vibration.
Okay, all right. I'll allow it. I just had to have clarification as to what that meant.
I could say immature.
Okay, there we go. Immature. Although all their hits are Slade songs.
Oh, I know. I love Slade, though.
All right, Slade.
Perfect. Yeah.
There you go. All right. And one final one, just to ruffle some feathers. Kiss.
Costume.
Costume. All right, so
first word popped in my head.
Well, that actually leads into one of the little sub things we'll talk about, because of course this is a music show, so we got to talk some music, and we're going to be talking about some Christmas music a little later on, but just kind of wet the whistle. I hopped on Facebook Live the other day, and I kind of told folks, I was like, I'm not going to rebroadcast this or make it an episode. I was just more or less hopping on to kind of chat and just, communicate with folks. But in that, I was talking about what Kiss has now unveiled for the end of the road. So, leading up to this, Doc McGee was hinting around at, all this brand new technology they were going to bring out for the final show. Not the one before, because they had 2 nights at Madison Square Garden. The final show, they were going to have all this new technology. Kiss was going to go out with a bang. They have spent well over $1 million on the final show.
That's not really that much money these days, though, right? I mean,
it's not, but it's $1 million extra. They're like sucking in an extra $1 million into this final show, which
I gotcha.
Yeah, on top of everything they already do. Mm-hmm. I may not give 2 shits about this lineup. Paul Stanley is lip syncing his vocals, whatever. But however, I'm curious, okay, what grand explosion, crazy, greatest show on earth thing are you going to end us with? Rock and Roll All Night kicks in. Big brrr, Paul smashes the guitar, they're getting lifted up on the things, bunch of fireworks, stage looks fucking awesome, okay?
And they all jump off. Oh, live suicide.
That would have been good. That would have been good. But what winds up happening is they get lifted up, smashing the guitars, and usually, it's the thank you, good night. They do the final boom with a bunch of fireworks on that final hit, and then stage goes dark, and little outro music as people file out. For the final show, thank you, good night, they're still ringing out that final note, and all this extra dense fog fills the stage. And it's like, oh, well, this is different. What are they going to do? And when I say you can't see shit on stage now from the fog, you genuinely can. I mean, lights are even having problems poking through this fog. Mm-hmm. You hear Paul give a count off. 1, 2, 3. Bam. Just guitar chords and like a cymbal. No fireworks, no nothing. Now, I know that like when Tupac showed up as like an hologram, you have to hit the stage with a lot of fog so all those lights and lasers can build that 3D model. I'm seeing all this fog and I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna do fucking holograms. All right, fuck it, let's see it. This will be fucking cool. Let's do it. Maybe we'll get like an Eric Carr drum solo. Their former drummer who's passed away due to cancer. Yeah. Maybe we'll get a little drum solo from Eric Carr. A drum kit will rise up from the stage. A hologram Eric comes through, and like one of his old drum solos starts blasting through the speakers as we watch him play. Holy crap, that'd be awesome. 4 lights hit the stage. Red, purple, green, blue, their colors. And the screen starts showing this wave of all these blue colors and like lightning and shit. All of a sudden you see poorly rendered CGI Kiss characters pop up on screen, in which Paul says, and I'm paraphrasing, "Kiss fans, your love and power has made us immortal." And it's all this, it's like a new era of Kiss has begun. And oh yeah. And then you see these like horribly rendered 3D CGI characters miming along to fucking studio track Kiss stuff. And that's how they end the fucking show. With like a 30, 45 second commercial, a new era has begun with a fucking QR code for you to scan. That's the end of the show.
Did you scan the QR code?
Yeah, it takes you
Gotcha.
to... Of course I did. Of course I fucking did. What the fuck is this? I'm looking at this going, what the fuck are you guys doing? What is this? What is... No. I scan the fucking QR code. I hop on the website, and basically there's nothing on the site. There's three videos. One showing the guys in their fucking mocap suits miming along, you know, capturing the footage. And another one is like this 50-minute video of them sitting with the graphic designers at guess fucking where? ILM. Disney is doing this.
Of course.
Kiss and Disney have a partnership now because ILM has created the new Kiss era. And they're passing the torch to ILM, and it is up to them to keep the Kiss legacy going through these new immortal avatars, as they're calling them.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know Kiss is all about that, too. You know, Marvel, fucking Star Wars, Kiss.
And I get that. I get it. However, the shit looks like early Pixar. Like, it's not good. Like, I might have a slightly different opinion. Like, if it actually looked good.
They only put an extra million into it. How good could it look? Was it better than Money for Nothing, that video from the Dire Straits?
Funny fact, that came up the other day, and I rewatched that, and I'm like, this is actually fucking good. Fuck all y'all.
Yeah, it's fucking great, dude.
All y'all can kiss my ass. I love this. This is great.
Pre-roadblocks, you know?
So, here's, you touched on something that I didn't really talk about in the live stream that I thought about after the fact. And I was like, damn it, that was the whole hook of my annoyance. What did I say at the very beginning of this? Doc McGee and both Gene Simmons were talking about sinking all this extra money, debuting brand new technology. Mind you, brand new technology that they're hoping works, and spent an extra $1 million on for this final show. You're meaning to tell me you hoped that the illusion of a lot of fog, so you don't see the members walk off stage and they kind of like just disappear into the ethos? You're meaning to tell me that cost an extra $1 million?
To the fucking, you know, oh, now we can create whatever we want. You know, I always kind of thought Kiss would end up being like a, what's that, fucking all boy band in Mexico, Menudo,
yeah.
Yeah, you know, I always thought they were going to be the next that, you know, or they're just going to pass the torch to younger guys and put, you know.
And you know what? As much as I would have also disliked that choice, I would have at least understood that. But here's the problem. All the information I gave you is all the information that's out there. There's no concrete set thing of, with these avatars, this is what you're going to expect. Yeah. There's none of that. There's no, you can witness this, you know, at the Las Vegas Sphere, you know, with crazy graphics. They haven't talked about any of it, you know.
So you have to buy these avatars, or?
No, we don't know what the fuck it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No one knows. They haven't said. All they've done is release a lot of promo of, like, you know, these avatars playing along to these Kiss songs, and Gene and Paul going, this is the new era of Kiss. This is the new era of Kiss. The entire fucking time. That's all it is. Which now leads me to ask you, with these avatars and with the idea of it being ILM, which is connected to Disney, what do you think they're going to do with them? Because they haven't told us. This is all speculation at this point, here forward.
I think that they're like too old to fucking perform live anymore. So it's
that's totally what it is. What I'm asking though is, what do you think these avatars are going to do? What do the avatars serve?
They're going to be the new Kiss. So a non-existent person creating the music to filter right into Gene and Paul's pockets. Kiss won't be, it's like this magical entity in a cloud now, Oh,
it is.
But they're still going to be writing music. They're still going to be, and it's probably,
they haven't written music in over 10 years.
Well, they probably will for this, I bet. And they might not, but AI might, So,
that's
and if they're getting involved with Disney on that aspect, and this Avatar and the new whole thing, I can see something like that,
So I guess my main question was like, do you think this is going to be a traveling thing? Do you think it's going to be residencies? I mean, what do you think the scope of this Avatar is going to be? Like, what do you think they're going to do with it?
You can do the same thing with like they do with movies. It can travel very easily, I don't see it going into stadiums. Who's going to fucking go watch a bunch of fucking digital avatars on, who knows though, God,
And see, and that's what's kind of got my brain working is like, okay, so they're kind of talking about, lights and all this other stuff kind of playing an important role in what you're seeing on the screen. So clearly this isn't going to be a situation of you just go to your local movie theater, for this month's fucking, Kiss Avatar showing, of the music.
Yeah.
It's got to be somewhere with stage lighting and stuff like that. So maybe like one of those 4DX theaters where you've got like the moving seats and shit like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe something like that, but I'm wondering.
Or like Paramount size, every city has a theater, like a 1,500 seater to, to 3,000 seat, something small. But it's like where you go see fucking stage shit, like the Book of Mormon or, Phantom of the Opera, or, a lot of bands play that circuit, dude.
And my thing is like, are we really paying to watch a screen with a light show?
Yeah,
like I would be a lot I would be a lot more intrigued if this was like the hologram technology, like just as a technology nerd.
Maybe
I would be interested in seeing that.
Maybe that's where they're going. Maybe they will be.
Yeah.
So, because I don't see any future in just a fucking avatar if it's not doing anything.
And I wonder too, because the one thing that you were able to grab off the website was you were able to grab a QR code to add to your wallet, like your digital wallet. So like Samsung Pay or Apple Pay. So you're able to grab like a pass to put in that. My knowledge of passes means that there's going to be real world scenarios that you scan this pass on and you get something digitally on your phone. It's like an interactive thing. That makes me wonder if there's going to be situations, and like the first thing that pops in my head is a Fortnite skin. You scan that code into Fortnite using your webcam or whatever else, and that unlocks the Kiss avatars, and now you can use the Kiss avatars in your favorite game.
Oh yeah, I can see that too.
So I wonder if there's going to be little things like that they start implementing as well.
That's a lot more doable.
Because I'm trying to think of like the terminology they are using, because I know in the tech world specific phrasing is key.
But the way if they're using the phrasing
avatars.
Yeah, but the way you described it sounded, and it was on a stage when it happened, and this is the new era of Kiss. It sounds like it's going to be the new era of Kiss, but I don't know.
What does that mean? What does the idea of Kiss? What was the past era of Kiss? Because if we want to look at the past era of Kiss, it was 4 guys, rotating members. We're not talking about that. 4 guys on stage playing music that had a global merchandising empire behind them. Comic books, TV shows, everything else. If that was the past era, if all of that is included, this new era, who the fuck knows? They're not telling us.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds just like the past era. It's still going to be this fucking global marketing thing, which, I mean, I know you love Kiss and love Kiss's music, you know, but one thing I'll say about Kiss, what's that noise?
Oh, I think that's like cars outside.
Okay. They are it's all about, I mean, I know they did the whole makeup scene and everything was just to create this whole, like, if a fucking, not image, but just this whole existence of everything, and all for the dollar, all for the, you know, you bring it in, you know, because if you listen to, Chris Shiflett's podcast, or you can watch it on YouTube too. He's talking to Mike McCready, and they're both huge Kiss fans, and they credit Ace Frehley for everything that they've done. You know, so
I love that you fucking said that. Okay,
well,
so
it's dude, every fucking grunge band out of Seattle is a huge fucking Kiss fan. They even have CZ Records even put out "Hard to Believe" a Kiss compilation album. I've never
preach. Keep it going.
I know.
Fuck you, Tyler. Fuck you, Tyler Reese from the Cyberdelics. Fucking watch this shit, bro. I fucking told you. All right, in our Discord, he posted this meme of Tommy Thayer applying the Ace Frehley makeup, and it said, if you can be always be yourself, unless you can be Ace Frehley, always be Ace Frehley. Well, me kind of being a little grumpy about all this, and I love Ace, but Ace sucks today. I mean, he is a shell of who he once was.
Yeah.
I replied just kind of being funny. I was just like, you know, oh, well, you know, at this point, you might want to just strive to be yourself instead of Ace Frehley, you know? And he was like, what, a washed up guitar player, hack, yada, yada, yada. I was just like, used to not be able to play. And he was like, could never play. I'm like,
no, Ace was cool.
All right,
Ace,
bastard.
But, I mean, Ace wasn't a technician on the axe by any means, but he was a great blues rock and roll player. You know?
And it started, Tyler loves to troll. He's a fucking troll through and through. He loves just to get under people's skin. But he made the wrong choice of because I was like, okay, well, I said, a lot of famous guitar players would disagree with you, but okay, you know? Yeah. And he's just like, well, you know, all those guitar players are ruining rock and roll these days. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not talking about the twerps your age. I'm talking about motherfuckers in the late 80s, early 90s that cited Ace as an influence. Well, that's who I'm talking about. Okay, Tom Morello / Dave Grohl. All these people are ruining rock and roll in your eyes. You love all these bands, motherfucker. Shut up. You know, and he's just like, well, just because someone's influential doesn't mean they're good. I mean, Hitler was influential. I'm like,
oh, Jesus, fuck. What a nut.
That's what I was dealing with.
Yeah. he's right, though. Hitler was influential.
Okay, and here's my point. And I'm just like, motherfucker, don't make me do this. I was like, I'm gonna fucking, okay, here I go. Are you happy, asshole? Here I go. And then I explained, I'm like, yes, just because someone is influential does not inherently make them good.
Right.
Hitler was influential to a horrible subsect of people because he unfortunately was good at what he did. If he wasn't good at what he did, he unfortunately would not be influential. He would have flown under the radar and been a footnote in history.
I disagree with the fact that you called them horrible people, because who he influenced might not have been horrible people. They were just misguided and lied to over and over till they believed it.
I'm talking about current day people.
Oh. Well,
because he even still influences.
We can still see that right now. It's just not Hitler; it's somebody else. But you know,
but
we don't need to go down that road.
No. But you get my point. And I was just explaining to him, like, unfortunately, he was good. I throw that in huge air quotes because it's a history thing, not an opinion thing. He was quote unquote good at what he did, which made him unfortunately influential to other negative people in history. Yeah. So.
But my point was is that Chris Shiflett and fucking Mike McCready were talking about Ace, you know, and saying that they're fucking, you know, totally influenced by them. You can hear fucking their guitar riffs, Ace's guitar riffs, in so many fucking songs, as you can hear in other songs Kiss too. So
because Ace ripped a lot of stuff.
Yes, absolutely. But we all do, because you know, it just happens, and sometimes it's totally accidental, and sometimes it's not. But whatever.
But yeah, kiss my ass, Tyler. Ace was a good guitar player.
Chris Shiflett, he's a lead guitar player for Foo Fighters, if anybody doesn't know. But and Mike McCready's in Pearl Jam. But anyway, the way he discovered Kiss was on a lunchbox, some kid's lunchbox. And he's like, fuck yeah. So that's what I mean. It's like all the way they fucking just created this total world, you know. I discovered Kiss by looking at fucking Kiss Alive 1 record cover. Going, what the fuck? This is fuck yeah. And I bought it and stuff and took it over to my friend's house and wanted to play it really bad. He wanted to play Barry Manilow, so we kept on fucking flipping over, you know. Okay, I'll play a little bit of Kiss. Okay, we'll play a little Barry Manilow. It's like, God, how can you fucking keep on going back to Barry Manilow, dude?
And see, but as much as I agree with that, I do have to disagree to a point. Because before they had any proof of money, before they had any proof of success, they still refused to take the makeup off. So like in the early days, before they had like their first record, they were approached by quite a few record labels, Warner Brothers being one. And they were like, we want to sign you guys. You just got to take the makeup off. Just take the makeup off. I mean, that's goofy. It's ridiculous. Like that's not going to sell. That's going to hinder you. If you want to make the cash, take the makeup off. And they're like, nah, we want to do this.
I think they knew. I think they they had their vision, and I think it was this multimedia, or not necessarily multimedia, but multi-world fucking domination just on an image. And
by the second album, yes, but it wasn't by even their own doing. So the little hidden history of Kiss in this is a lot of that creative genius that people like to equate a lot to Gene actually came from a man named Bill Aucoin. Bill Aucoin and Sean Delaney were their first managers and stage producers. Sean Delaney was the one that told them, okay, during the end of Deuce, walk to the front of the stage and synchronize your guitar movements. Mime this, do it over and over, do it for me, get in sync, get tight. He was instructing them on how to do that. Bill Aucoin told them, do not, because they had already done it once and they got in trouble for it, do not take photos outside of the makeup. That makeup is important. They didn't understand the importance of the makeup. Bill Aucoin did, their manager. Bill was like, do not be seen without that makeup. You're superheroes. Don't let them see you without the costume. Don't let them do it. You've got that secret identity.
Yeah.
Then they latched and rolled with it. The reason the manager was so interested in doing that is when they signed Kiss, they didn't do the traditional, I think it's like, 15% goes to management and the record company, the rest kind of filtered down to the band, and you divvy it up from that. Kiss signed a deal that 25% went to Bill Aucoin and Aucoin management. The other 75 went to Kiss to be split among the four. However, because Bill Aucoin had a stake in the merchandising, he also got an additional cut. Kiss was making money hand over fist in the 70s.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Gene, Paul, Peter, and Ace were not making money hand over fist. They weren't seeing it. Bill Aucoin was. Which is the reason Kiss fell into such dire straits in the 80s when they fired Bill Aucoin after realizing they didn't have money socked away. He was spending it, and how much money he was actually getting, because they're a bunch of rock and rollers. They don't know anything about money. They trust their financial advisors and their managers to take care of that.
Well, once they realized that... The 80s when they took their makeup off too, wasn't that like Lick It Up and
that was an aftermath of all of this.
Right,
because that was the one of the major sticking points. They did not have the copyrights to the makeup. They didn't own the trademark to it throughout the entire 70s. Anyone could make Kiss merchandise with the makeup design as long as they didn't use the logo. But they could print that makeup design on anything and they could get away with it. Oh, Bill Aucoin got the actual copyright to the makeup design in 1979. And in 1982, they took the makeup off.
And they sucked.
But part of that being, now Bill owned the rights to the makeup.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they still didn't own it outright. So when they split with him, they got the makeup rights because that's one of the few things they could get during the split. If I'm remembering everything correctly, the Kiss nerds are probably yelling at me for these tiny details right now. But however, when they split with that, they had no money left. So now the stage show went downhill. They couldn't do as much. People weren't coming out to the shows because of all the failed records due to poor management. So they took the makeup off.
And poor writing.
Well, it was...
And that makeup does make the songs sound a little better.
So then they take the makeup off to try to reinvigorate the fan base and get people out. And it's only mildly successful. And that's when you have Gene fucking off and everything else. But no, so all of that to say, the early genius of Kiss was not Gene and Paul. It was Bill LaCoin and Sean Delaney, but unfortunately they don't have the most savory of past because they did kind of take a lot from the band and they were kind of left with a lot of nothing and then forced to kind of figure it out all through the 80s. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm not as bitter about so many cash grabs that they do, is because even if it's by their own fault, they did sign a very bad deal in the 70s. Yeah. So they kind of worked off nothing for a very long time, to the point where, put myself in those shoes, I'd probably be slapping my name on a little bit of everything, to almost out of spite, just to be like, no, now I have the power to make the money and I fucking will.
Yeah. Well, I do know that there was a time, and it definitely would be the 70s because Peter Litwin from Coffin Break, we're the same age, like we're like 3 or 4 days apart, right? So, and he's from Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. So when he in school, one of his good friends, she was her cousin or her uncle was Peter Criss.
Oh wow!
And there
That's
was
cool.
there's this whole thing that nobody could see his pictures. Nobody could, it was like this really big thing. And Peter remembers trying to not Peter Criss, Peter Litwin remembers trying to always get to see fucking pictures of her uncle.
Yep.
And it was like, can you imagine being related to one of them and having this fucking where you can't allow anybody to see family pictures and shit like that?
That would be so crazy. But that's a crazy story, though. I love that. I never knew that.
Yeah. Well, it was on that one interview I did with him that you never listened to.
Right. How many of these episodes have you listened to?
I honestly, I never listen to anything I do. I don't. Because I'm doing it. And then, I would usually
So you haven't seen all the clown faces I've been superimposing on you and everything else? No. Okay, cool. No. Well, we'll keep it that way.
Yeah, go ahead. What can I do about it?
Well, let's go ahead. There's enough Kiss talk. We always wind up devolving into that, but they're always doing something fucking ridiculous, and I have such a love-hate relationship with them. Let's move over to Christmas music. God damn it. Yeah. Now, have you ever really worked retail?
Have I worked retail? That's pretty much my whole life, dude. I mean, I'm talking
about like mall retail.
Yeah, I used to work in record stores back when I was like right out of high school and stuff.
What about like clothing stores, like a Macy's or a Dillard's or something like that?
I don't remember ever working at a clothing store. No.
Okay, that's an entirely different breed, my friend. The radio stations that play in those places during the holiday season is a completely that's why I was wanting to see if you've dealt with that torture yet, because that's in a record
store we can play our own records,
Oh, absolutely.
Do you
and in my current
shop,
we're playing fucking banging Christmas music. This shit's bumping. That ain't what playing in Dillard's.
No, I'm sure it wasn't. No. I mean, I've shopped during Christmas time in stores and, buying presents and heard the shit that they play.
And you know what? In those tiny little moments, I'm sure it's enjoyable.
It's all right. It's always
imagine
seems like
40 to 50 hours a week of the
same
playlist over and over and over.
Yeah. Well, I did work with a woman that, because I was a receiving driver for a large company, and It's time of year she fucking plays. She's like a Christmas music junkie, and that's all she'd play is over and over and over. Yeah, by the end of it, you'd just be like, if I hear George Michael sing one more time.
Did that start like immediately after Thanksgiving, or did she wait at least until December?
She wouldn't even. It would start before Thanksgiving. You know, and we'd always bitch, not until after Thanksgiving. You know. And I tried to get into it in the beginning, but like, you know, right around, what's today, December, what, 9th or 10th
11th.
or something? 11th? Yeah, it starts draining right now, you know. 11 days in or, well, after Thanksgiving, so we're looking at like fucking, 17 days in now, you know.
Yeah, right before Thanksgiving, I was shopping at our, I don't know if y'all have them over there. We've got grocery stores called Harris Teeter.
No, we don't.
Okay. It's basically like a Kroger. I think y'all have got them, right? Okay. Do what?
Nope, we have Tops and Wegmans.
Okay. I'm sure this all the fucking same. Publix?
Nope.
Regardless, it's a fancy Walmart. There you go.
Yeah. That we have.
No, I was in Harris Teeter grabbing some stuff for right before Thanksgiving. Actually, I think it was for Friendsgiving. That was a week or two before it. And about 1 out of every 3 songs, they started sprinkling in a Christmas tune. Like none of it had lyrics, but like it was an instrumental. And it's like, I'm like, no. That's fucking jazzy Jingle Bells, motherfucker. Stop that.
Do you know it actually makes you buy more? They've done studies, and when Christmas music is playing, your shopping goes up. Now, I don't understand how you can do a study like that. You know, it's like, because you're at a store shopping. I mean, nobody goes to the store to fucking use the restroom. Unless you're fucking really gotta go, you know.
I've done it before.
But you know what I mean? If you're going shopping, like in a Dillard's or, fucking
whatever
Kohl's
else.
Or, Target. Well, not necessarily Target. That's an everyday store. But, you're buying, you're, especially that time of year, you're probably going to shop for something, right?
Yep.
Chances are you're going to buy a present. So I don't really get how you can do the statistics on that, but.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head on that, because I've never understood that stuff either, because I'm sorry, maybe I'm just weird, or it's because I've always kind of been in it. Marketing does not work on me.
Yeah?
Ever.
I don't know if it works on me or not. Well, I did buy that fucking Kiss Alive album. So.
That kind of marketing is there. I'm talking about like promotional marketing, being like, you've got to get down here for this and a blah, 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 limited time. Like, unless it's something like I automatically already wanted, that's not going to pull me in.
Those commercials usually, it does the opposite to me. It's like, especially if it's a car dealership or someone's like, I ain't buying the car from that dude.
No, they're pushing too hard. And something that they want them gone for a reason.
It's just too weird, Or the mattress dude, There's been a lot of those, and
I'm imagining the guy that's making his rounds right now. It's like the Asian dude walking down like this aisle of like a bunch of refrigerators, and like the camera's still, like it's stagnant. You just see him walking down, like passing about a good 8 refrigerators before he finally reaches the one closest to the camera and smacks. He goes, I love refrigerators. Well, what is the Christmas song
that is disturbing?
It is. What is the Christmas song that every time you hear it, you're just like, nope, and you're trying to find that skip button?
It's that Mariah Carey song. Fucking
okay. Barring that one, because I asked a few of my friends and I forgot to include that caveat.
Dude.
Barring that song, because I think that's everyone's most hated.
Probably Silent Night, the original, just Silent Night, the holy shining. It's like, it just sounds too much like a fucking hymn.
Yeah, okay.
Keep Christ out of Christmas. Give me Santa up on the rooftop. Come on, yeah.
All right, then you'll probably disagree with mine. Because actually I have 2. Because I'll go in the hymnal route, kind of like where you went, but then I'll have like another like traditional one that just bugs me. The traditional song, like the hymnal one that just, Little Drummer Boy.
That's
worse than Silent Night.
That doesn't, Little Drummer Boy doesn't bother me, especially when fucking Bowie and Crosby did it. That was fucking amazing.
Come on, I don't care. Even David Bowie couldn't make that song good.
He did with
No,
Ben
he
Crosby.
didn't.
Yeah,
No,
it
he
was a
didn't.
great version of that song.
I love Bowie, but no.
Yeah,
Not even he
yeah.
can make that song enjoyable for me.
Well, for you. Well, yeah, but you're talking you, dude.
Yeah, you're saying
the
you
guy
for
that
Silent
puts
Night.
something-
Silent Night's actually a good song.
If it's in your head, it's going to be that way, and no one's going to ever change your mind. It's just the stiff
that's
way
how
or
we
no
all are.
way.
Hey, that's how we all are.
No,
That's how we all are.
I'm very eclectic, and I love to be influenced.
You're very pliable.
Yes, I am. I'm like Stretch Armstrong.
Stretch Armstrong up in this bitch. Come on.
No, I can hear and see cool things and everything.
Right.
Even fucking Kiss.
Okay, so outside, what would be maybe one more? Because I've got one that kind of lays. So I'll give my example, so you'll see where to kind of land it. My other one that I used to not understand why my mom hated it so much. Mom used to hate this. I loved it. And all of a sudden, one year it came on, and I'm like, all right, yeah, no, fuck this song. Fuck Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that song, bro.
It's so it's just, yeah.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
It's just hick. It's just so fucking,
She was drinking too much eggnog.
It's just
Shut up.
it's a novelty song,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's the novelty song that gets under you? Because I'm sure there has to be one.
That's a Christmas song? I don't know.
Yeah.
That one. But
That one?
I don't
Okay.
know a lot of. Well, I guess every Christmas song technically is a novelty song, right? I mean, technically.
Yeah, but that one's a little bit more novelty than some of the others.
But the one novelty song that sticks into my head all the fucking time that I can't stand is that "We got a mighty convoy, ain't she a beautiful sight? Convoy." Breaker on 9, this here's a rubber ducky.
Oh,
God,
yeah.
Song would drive me up the fucking wall. The convoy. It's like, fuck that song, dude. That one, and The Streak. You probably don't remember that. I was a little kid when The Streak came on.
Oh, no.
But those aren't Christmas songs, so I
What
don't know,
about Chipmunk Christmas?
Oh, I loved it as a kid, but yeah, now I can't listen to it. All right, Elvin. That was good. That was a good chipmunk.
No, that one doesn't bug me as much.
Christmas time of year, time for home. This year
Now we're gonna do our own cover version. Fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, that doesn't bug me as much as that fucking grandma got ran over by a reindeer. Hick, hick, on the way, hick, hick. Fucking that song was written in a fucking trailer. And people, hey, no problem with you guys living in trailers. I'm not getting off, saying anything about you guys. Good. Don't write songs.
However, just stop writing music.
Don't write songs, or don't say you live in a trailer and write songs. How's that? Fucking piece of shit.
However, though, so we've spent a lot of time hating here. This is one of Dave's favorite time of years. All right, so I do have some Christmas music I enjoy. In a couple different kind of categories as well. I'll go say like traditional first. The now that's what I call Christmas playlist is what I call it. There's a lot of the classics I like a lot of the Bing Cosby shit, the Elvis Blue Christmas.
I never really liked Elvis Christmas music.
Really?
I did, yeah, but I really dug Dean Martin, fucking Frank Sinatra. What's that Andy guy? Fucking there's a shit that my parents had.
Yeah, exactly. So I do enjoy that stuff as long as it's not overplayed. But you know what? These days they don't get played that much, like in the mall and things like that. So
yeah, they really don't.
So I think that's part of the reason why I'm able to kind of enjoy the original classics is because they're not played as much anymore.
Yeah. My favorite, though, is fucking Phil Spector's Christmas album, A Christmas Gift for You, I think it's called.
I need to revisit that one.
Dude, it's the fucking best, dude.
Okay.
And it's a lot of classic songs, but it's more lot of Motown on it and shit. You know, it's good stuff. It's fucking.
It's also Phil Spector, that crazy bastard.
Dude, he was fucking looped.
And then kind of actually another one in the traditional realm. And this one might surprise you though.
Will it?
And it's yeah, darn. Dude, I did that earlier. So we had a purchase list at work where we were kind of writing everything down, stuff to reorder, because on Mondays we do reorders. And I was helping a customer, and this ring got caught underneath the it was like this those yellow paper kind of binding book.
Yeah.
My ring got caught underneath it and sent it sliding across the counter and like almost hit him. I was just like, I am so sorry about that. You know, I pull it back. I'm like, my bad. I apologize for that. And he's just like, I want whatever you have. I was just like, what? A ring that launches this across the table, bro? Like, I'm sorry. That was just a fumble. And here I am smacking my fucking microphone. No, a Christmas...
Denying the cocaine, yeah. Gotcha.
I can't afford cocaine, motherfucker. I can't afford that shit. The Christmas album that I won't play over and over, but at least once a year I like to play it front to back. It's a very specific... I had his name right before I started talking. I almost said Harry Connick Jr., but not him.
Michael Bublé?
No, old country singer.
Hank Williams?
No, more cowboy country. He has the really popular version of Rudolph.
Gene
yes,
Autry. Yeah.
There's a specific Gene Autry Christmas record. And the reason I say it's specific is you can always tell which record it is by the version of Rudolph.
Yeah.
The version of Rudolph that's on this record is not the one that gets played on the radio all the time.
The one
that
with
version
the big
is
intro?
Different.
Yeah.
Yes. Happy holidays, folks, wherever you may be. Bling, bling,
Yeah.
bling, bling. You know Dasher and Dancer. He's even doing a different melody to it. It's a little slower. And that record is fantastic. It has all these different interludes of him talking about Christmases when he was a kid. So that had to be Christmases in the fucking 1940s.
Yeah.
And they had Up on the Housetop. Even had Santa's Coming in a Whirly-Bird. That song is goofy as hell. But I, to this day, still have a Santa in a Whirly-Bird Christmas ornament. Because my goofy ass of fucking 4 years old, Santa's coming in a Whirly-Bird, running around the house singing that fucking song, dude.
That's funny.
So when it comes to the classic stuff, I can't be a 100% hater. That Gene Autry Christmas record, I don't know the specific name of it, but the one that's got all those songs on it's primarily a white background with him in his cowboy hat with his acoustic guitar. That's the one. Listen to that one. It's fucking great. I love that one.
Yeah. What do you think of the Peanuts Christmas album? I love it.
I love that one too, man.
Yeah.
Like, so many people hate on the Peanuts. I love
fucking
Peanuts.
The harmonies in the fucking on that album are just so insane and just great. It just sounds so fucking good, dude.
It does. And people hate on like the Peanut specials, like Great Pumpkin and Christmas.
I love.
Man,
I love Peanuts.
I do too. And you know what? And as I've gotten older, I've grown to appreciate Peanuts more and more and more for the simple fact that it is pure, good innocence.
Yeah. How do you feel about Mr. Peanut?
A sexual deviant.
With his monocle.
Yes, staring me down, undressing me with his eye. But the Peanuts, like, there's nothing malicious. It's all in good fun. There's no horrible attitudes. There's nothing bad. There's no the parents are dumb or the teachers are dumb. They might do a little they don't understand. But sure, yeah, even being adult, there's times I don't understand my little sister. Valid. Okay, adults don't understand kids. That's fine.
Yeah. It was way ahead of its time too. I mean, if you look back at the dates of the originals and that, and you got characters like Peppermint Patty and
strong female, lesbian.
Who was your little buddy, sir? Excuse me, sir. What was her? Fucking God, I can't remember her name.
Oh, God, getting ahead of the pronoun game.
Yeah, dude, it was totally, dude. You try to tell me they weren't gay, they were totally gay.
Absolutely, bro.
And fucking animated gay is awesome.
Ask any manga and anime.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it was way fucking ahead of its time. But that album, though, that Christmas album, is so good.
No, I would put that on repeat in the shop if I didn't feel like I'd get bitched out for it.
Yeah.
But no, and you know what? That's a really great record that. And this goes to show the timelessness of that record specifically. If you have an all-adult party, 30 plus, we're all drinking, laughing, having a few bites, enjoying ourselves. If any of those songs come on, not a single person in that room is going to go, ugh. Everyone's going to smile and go, oh shit, it's the Peanuts music. Mm-hmm. Because everyone has that good, fond memory of the Peanuts. Mm-hmm. So no, I totally agree. If we have to talk about best record, that honestly might be a hard one to beat. I think that might be the best Christmas record.
It's my second favorite. Phil Spector's is my first.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like movies, which I don't know which is my favorite Christmas movie, if it's a fucking Christmas Story or if it's fucking Christmas Vacation. I don't know, but it's one of those two, dude.
That's a close tie there, bud. I can't.
They flip all the time, man. Did you see the new Christmas Story?
I liked that a lot.
Me too. It was great.
Yes. A Christmas Story Christmas. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah. I think it came out last year or the year before. I can't remember.
Yep. No, that was genuinely very good. I went into it nervous because I'm just like, ooh, I don't like Christmas movies, but this is one of the few I like.
And you don't want to fuck with a classic either, you know?
You're hitting it, and I'm going into it so nervous, but my girl wants to watch it. I'm down for watching. It's like, okay. And like first few minutes, I'm already chuckling. I'm like, okay, well, the vibe's right. This feels okay. And by the end of the movie, I'm just like, that's how you do a sequel all these years later. That was good. Yeah. It wasn't perfect, but it was like it hit the mark of yes, thank you. Yeah. There was a few problems, a few little like story wasn't fantastic, but you know what? No Christmas movie story is good.
Yeah, Elf was pretty good.
No, we're not getting into that. We're not.
I love Elf.
I don't like Will Ferrell.
Oh man, what's wrong with you?
So that paints this. So now that paints my whole opinion of Elf. Elf is everything I hate about Will Ferrell rolled into one.
you just hate
on
the goodness.
11.
You just hate the goodness. You can't say you hate Will Ferrell. How do you do that?
The only role Will Ferrell was good in, and the same thing goes for Steve Carell. It's the one movie I like with Steve Carell in it is Anchorman. That's the one movie that I like both of those actors in. Steve Carell and Will Ferrell, I like them in that movie. Other than that, I'm not a fan of those two. Same thing goes for Jim Carrey. Not a fan of Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey, I can understand that one. Jim Carrey goes way over the top, you know. I mean, has he made me laugh? Yes, Pet Detectives I thought were great, but that's really it. Yeah. Nothing else he's done is great, and I thought Pet Detective 2 was fucking way funnier than Pet Detective 1. You know, 3 darts too much.
All right, well, let me ask you this. Since we've talked a lot about classic Christmas music, what are some off-the-wall Christmas records that you really like? That's either kind of like a grungy rock or rap or just something that doesn't fit the traditional Christmas mold, but is still a Christmas record.
You know, I've never really gone off on, like, bands that have done Christmas music unless it's something that's put out there on the radio and shit. I know almost everybody does have one. Pretenders fucking 9,000 Miles from Home or something like that. I don't know what the song is.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I just blanked on that too. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Well, the things that kind of popped in my head was like, one record I kind of revisit ever since it came out because it's honestly really good is the Bad Religion Christmas record.
No, I did never fucking even listen to it. But Bad Religion is amazing, so it probably is great.
Imagine that musicianship on like Angels We've Heard on High. like Greg's voice doing that. Oh, oh, he's got that hymnal voice. It works so well, dude.
Did they try to traditionalize it, or is it
everything is traditional with punk rock guitars?
All right.
Yeah,
that could be very cool.
So imagine the traditional pace of a Christmas song, but played sounding fast. So like the melody may still be angels we have heard on high, but the drums doing angels we have heard on high. Na, na, na,
yeah, I don't know if I'd
na.
have to hear it.
Yeah, so it's like they kind of keep it fast paced while the actual melody is still slow. So it's that controlled speed, like what the Sex Pistols do
through the whole album.
For the most part.
Yeah,
they kind of punk up songs. Like one song they throw some nods to classic songs, like "Dreaming of a White Christmas" starts out like "Beat on the Brat." I'm dreaming of a white kind of thing.
Yeah, okay, that could be cool.
Yeah, so it kind of
have to hear it.
It's a really good record. It's one of the few punk rock Christmas records I actually enjoy.
I always try to stay away from it because I've heard a few bands do Christmas songs and it just doesn't work. So I just, I just don't want to give it a,
I got one for you.
I like you guys, so let's just keep it that way,
I've got one for you, and this band released it a few years ago, and as soon as I saw that they were releasing it, I went, uh-oh.
Is it a crappy band?
By most people's standards, probably not.
All right.
I'm kind of 50-50 on the band. There's a few records of theirs I like, but their last few records have just not been good. But as soon as I saw they were releasing a Christmas song, I went, uh-oh. And then I clicked it, and it was full of auto-tune and a really cringy music video, and I went, oh, this is really bad.
They even did a music video?
Yes, and it's horrible. I'm
showing
a clip of it
Red
right
Hot
now.
Chili Peppers?
No, I never liked anything of theirs.
Yeah, me either. That would be a really fucking bad Christmas song.
But no, I'm sure I just showed a clip of it there. It's the Offspring's Christmas song.
All right. Yeah.
God.
There's not
it
a
is
lot
so
of
bad.
There's not a lot of Offspring stuff I like.
There's a handful of stuff I appreciate. I wouldn't really consider myself a fan.
No, not at all.
But there's some stuff that like I'll listen to and I'm like, this is out of all the. I always put it in perspective. If I put the Offspring in my big pool of bands that I really like,
give it to me, baby.
No, I'm probably not going to be reaching for the Offspring first in my big pool of bands that I like. However, when I put them in the pool of their era, I'll probably grab the Offspring. That's the way I look at it.
The way you said that, in the pool of the things you like, what was I know you use Spotify. You're on Spotify, so you got it. What's your top 5? Did you do your year-end rap? What's your top 5 for your fucking Spotify? That tells you who you've,
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you because...
they tell you. You just fucking hit your fucking...
Meaning, I remember looking at it and I don't remember because for like the last 3 years, my rap has been all sorts of fucked up because what'll happen is I'll fall asleep with an album on repeat because I'll fall asleep listening to music sometimes. So I'll fall asleep to an album on repeat, and all of a sudden, a single I may have listened to just a couple times is now like my top played song of the year.
Yeah. Right.
So like my Wrapped playlist is always all sorts of fuck. So I rarely share it. I think like fucking the Jerry Only solo record was in like my top 10 most played records when I know I just gave that like a cursory skim. So like no, I know it's all sorts of fucked up.
Yeah, mine was Red Cross number 1, Coffin Break number 2, which surprised me, but I mean I was like, wow, cool. I knew I listened to Coffin Break quite a bit, but I didn't think it would be top 2. 3, I think, was the Wine Lips. 4, Ween, and 5. I don't even remember.
Well, if it says anything about how fucked up my algorithm is, Kiss wasn't even in my top 5 played. And you know that's fucked up and wrong. Yeah. You know that's wrong if Kiss isn't in my top played. It was in like the main big playlist it makes me. But no, it was not in like my year in Wrapped thing. I think they may have been like number 9 or some shit. And I'm like, no, that's way off. That's wrong.
Oh, my 5 was Mudhoney. That's what it was. Which I don't really listen to that much Mudhoney. But I did listen to that new album a lot, so that's probably why I went in there. But I do listen to the
I know
first
that
2 albums a lot.
Misfits was in my top 5, and that's fucked up because I only really started digging back into them maybe starting in August when I started doing all the bootleg stuff. So that all kind of fell into place all at one time. I started re-listening and then getting into it. So no, why are they in my top 5? And I started listening to them hardcore again in August.
Yeah,
don't make no sense.
Well, probably the algorithm of you listening to it a lot in a short period of time might have boosted it up, you know?
That's true, yeah. And also there was a lot of times when I was trying to do some speed correction on certain songs, so I was like playing it over and over, like in both headphones to make sure I'm like getting it in sync or like tonalities are correct, so yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, I use my Spotify for a lot. I never rely on that shit.
Can you play some elevator music real quick?
I made an entire elevator graphic for us, and it's really creepy.
Really?
It's kind of creepy.
Is it The Shining? All the blood comes running out?
No, it's a combination of a few things I put together, because I was just going to put like a still image of just elevator doors. But then I was just like, no, I'm going to do something weird with this. And I just did a search for like green screen people walking, because I was going to put like a bunch of like really weird people just walking through the frame. And I found this fucked up looking CGI render of a dude dancing, and like his face looks really weird. So I just have like this dude dancing in a hallway in front of an elevator.
Can you edit out the music and throw something on it behind it?
Well, usually it's the traditional elevator music.
Oh, okay. You should throw some of your fucking shit on there and have that stupid guy dancing.
It's even creepier with the elevator music. You guys will see right now. Hey, you're having a drink too.
Fuck yeah, dude. I always do every time I podcast, dude. I don't know. There's something about sitting down here talking. I just want to have beers or drinks or something.
Which explains all the elevator music.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we are now back from. Another Christmas record. I do have to, or not even a Christmas record, a single I have to throw out there. One of the better Christmas covers I've heard in a long time, and y'all can scream personal bias or whatever. I think it's genuinely good. Tuck Smith did a cover of Happy Christmas, the Slade song.
Oh, I've never heard it. I've heard Happy Christmas, but I haven't heard much of Tuck Smith's.
It's genuinely really good. Again, I'm not a fan of Christmas covers at all, but like he did a really damn good job on that song. Like I enjoy it a whole lot. So
speaking about word association that we were doing earlier, every time you say Tuck Smith, you know what pops into my head? That song "Wild Horses" from Silence of the Lambs, because that guy tucks it, you know.
See, I figured you'd think of
why would you go with the name Tuck?
the Tuck clothing brand.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, there's a like a punk rock or like clothing brand, and they do like shoes and shit. It's called Tuck.
That's just to have a punk rock clothing brand is not really punk rock. So.
I mean, that could be an entire separate conversation, because what do you call trash and vaudeville?
I don't know. What is that?
That the original New York shop that had all the original shit, like back in the mid 70s.
Was it their own brand, or was it like secondhand stuff that they would like?
Both.
Yeah. See, when I think of punk clothing, it's always like kind of self-made, you know, secondhand, you know, stuff like that. But
yeah. So I mean, okay. Would you consider, not to get too far off, but I am just kind of curious, would you consider a punk band that reached out to a printing company to get professional screen press shirts done. Would you consider that the same thing?
Or they're doing it themselves, so it's independent.
Well, I mean, but I mean, the clothing store could be independent as well. It could be an independent clothing brand.
Yeah, that's. I guess that's punk rock. Sure.
Yeah. What is punk rock anyway? God damn it!
I don't really know, dude.
That's a separate episode.
Yeah, we've talked about it before.
Yeah, but not too in depth.
I think our very first episode we went pretty deep on it, or our second or something. Well, with me and you.
Yeah. I don't know. Talking about Christmas records that don't fall under the traditional banner, though, of it not being good, and this is a change for me. I used to like this record. Twisted Sister put out a Christmas record.
Yeah, I remember that one. I do.
I liked that a lot when it first came out, but now I listen to it and I'm just like,
yeah.
I will say, clever as fuck of them to re-record "We're Not Gonna Take It" and just put "Come All Ye Faithful" on top lyrics.
I appreciate Twisted Sister. I really can't say that I like Twisted Sister. I'm a fan of Twisted Sister, but
you appreciate them.
Yeah, I was like in 11th grade, I think, when they came out and stuff, and it was cool, you know. It was like, the music was really generic-y.
What do you want to do with your life?
But it was that was later though. That was like
I wanna rock.
3 or 4 years into their existence.
Yeah.
There's a kid in my high school, Randy fucking God, I can't remember his last. He is a big Twisted Sister fan, dude. That's how we knew about him.
Yeah.
Them and fucking, was it Manowar that was back then? That was
another name.
I don't know if that's the one though, but
it was a name though. It was a band.
Was it at the same time?
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Okay, it was them then. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was big on both of those. But Twisted Sister, I saw as like, they had that commercial value, you know, but just the worst fucking glam that you could, you know, come up with and stuff, and it was hilarious looking. Dee Snider's fucking hilarious too. And then when he went up against in court against when
that was brilliant,
trying to fucking slap the parental guidance on the thing, which I thought was brilliant. Mm-hmm. The whole time it's like, yeah, slap that on there, dude. It's just telling people what's, you know, hey, it's more advertising. You know, it's like, it's a badge of honor.
People started actually making it part of their album cover instead of it being just a sticker.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the Twisted Sister Christmas, unless you want to hear, just for the pure laugh of it all, the heavy metal 12 Days of Christmas.
I don't think I've heard that.
Yeah,
is that Twisted Sister?
Yep, that's the last track on their Christmas record, the heavy metal 12 Days of Christmas. And they, of course, come up with brand new items to give on, you know, so it's not Partridge in a Pear Tree. It's like, I think the Partridge in a Pear Tree is a tattoo of Ozzy. And there's like 5 skull earrings, a certain amount of cans of hairspray, leather belts, you know, all this kind of shit. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you remember Bob and Doug McKenzie's 12 Days of Christmas? You know, the dudes from
not by name.
Well, do you remember Bob and Doug McKenzie? They're like it's fucking Ray Moranis and fucking what's the other guy's name? They did that movie Strange Brew. You know, Ray from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, yeah. See, you have to give movie name associations. I'm horrible with actor names. I know my movies. I just don't know my actor names.
I probably got his name wrong. I'm really bad with actor names.
Rick Moranis? Something
Morantis,
like that.
I think.
Morantis.
Yeah, I think that, he's either Bob or Doug. I don't know which one. But they're Canadian fucking stoner drunks, you know?
Okay.
You know, it's fucking funny as shit, dude. On the first day of Christmas. They keep on talking to each other through the whole thing, too. You know? Because they get sidetracked and stuff.
And actually, side note, that's another one. Fuck the 12 Days of Christmas. Whoever wrote that song deserves to burn in hell. No. If you want to sing about the 12 Days of Christmas, guess what? Start on day 12.
What are the 12 days of Christmas, though? What is there's, I just know of one day of Christmas.
I thought you were about to ask me what are all the gifts, and I was like, oh, shit.
No, but what, I mean, what the fuck? It's like...
I mean, it's in Hanukkah.
Yeah, I know. That's what it's like.
That sounds like the 12 days of Hanukkah.
Yeah, which is, what, 9, I think, or something?
Yeah, so we're even tacking on a few extra days.
So what the fuck is that? I've never heard of that in real life, somebody actually doing something like that.
Get a gift every day for 12 days straight?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds, in that theory, sounds awesome if you're a kid, but horrible if you're a parent.
Merry Christmas, today you get this pack of gum.
Yeah, that's what it is. Lunch money.
Congratulations, Merry Christmas, today you get to live.
Wrap up a fucking hot dog. Here you go.
Well, since we kind of gave a little spoiler and said what our favorite Christmas movies were, which we were right in tandem, Christmas Story and Christmas Vacation, barring all the vapid, horrible Hallmark movies, what's a classic Christmas movie that you're like, fuck that movie, dude? Because I have one.
If it's like a total classic or just a...
Maybe just a popular movie, because I wouldn't say this is my pick is necessarily a classic, but it's a popular one for this time of year.
I hate it so much that I can't remember what it's called.
What was it about?
It's so bad. I think I've erased it from my memory. It's it's like, I think there's a wedding in it, and it's a love story. It's like a Hallmark. I think it's where Hallmark got their ideas for everything.
Gotcha. Now, the one that I can't stand, just to kind of give you a little time to think on it, I don't know what it is about this movie. It drives me up the fucking wall. I do not like, fuck, you said all that now. I was trying to stall because I forgot the fucking name of mine. God damn it. Oh, Jack Frost.
With fucking
the fucking
Martin
sad
Short?
movie where the fucking dad dies at the very beginning and gets reincarnated into the fucking snowman. Fuck that movie, dude. Fuck that movie.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
That is horrible. A kid's dad dies within the first like fucking 5 minutes of the movie. It's sad the entire time, and then the dad's spirit gets brought back to life as a snowman, and the whole crux of the movie now is this kid trying to prevent the snowman from melting so his dad doesn't die again. It's fucked up.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
It's horrible, dude. But like people go and like they're just like, oh, did you watch Jack Frost this year? No, I'm not trying to bawl my fucking eyes out. It's a horrible movie. I don't want to feel like this. No, fuck you. It's a horrible movie that plays with emotions. Pixar fucking watches this movie and goes, God damn, why the fuck did you do this? We just killed an old bitch and up, but like this is ruthless.
That's funny. I'm trying to Google and see what fucking it is, and the movie I'm talking about, it's not coming up here. It's like Love Always. That's
Love Always. Okay, no, yeah. I hadn't even seen that one.
Fucking it's not. It's a Christmas movie though. Home Alone though, I just watched that with my kids today. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. He was really good as a kid. He was a really good fucking fun kid actor, dude.
No, I need to watch Home Alone again. I've only watched, so far I've watched Christmas with the Cranks. That's pretty good.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I hadn't seen it till this year, but we were just surfing through the Christmas movies, and I was like, I've seen a million trailers for this movie. I never watched it. Essentially, it's just Tim Allen and what's her nuts from
Jamie
Halloween?
Lee Curtis.
Yes, Jamie Lee Curtis. They decide, fuck it, we're not having Christmas this year. Our daughter's going to be out of town. We invest so much money into doing this, and it's pointless every year. How about we spend half of the money we typically would and go on a cruise?
And they live in a neighborhood where everybody has to fucking decorate their house.
The whole neighborhood is like a fucking cult when it comes to this Christmas shit. And they're like, you're not putting out Frosty? No, we're not putting out Frosty this year. Well, why aren't there lights? We're skipping Christmas this year. The entire fucking time. They do that for half of the movie, and then Jamie Lee gets a call on the phone, and she's like, hey, Mom, I'm actually coming home for Christmas, and I'm bringing my boyfriend who's never celebrated Christmas, and he's excited to see all your lights and the traditional Christmas party we do every year. And guess what? We're home in 12 hours. So now it's the whole thing of them like rushing to like try to make everything right, make amends with the neighbors, get everything set up and all this other crap. And it's genuinely pretty good. I wasn't expecting it to be as funny as it was. So we've only watched that one and A Christmas Story so far.
I don't think I made it through that Christmas with the Cranks, but I remember once you started talking about it, I started remembering it.
Yeah, it's honestly not as bad as a lot of the other Christmas movies out there. I'd give that one a rewatch. Oh, and a fucking classic. And people like shitting on this movie, and they can kiss my ass. I'll watch this even when it's not Christmas time because it's a fucking funny, good movie. Jingle All the Way. It's turbo time. Dude, I will watch Arnold make a fool of himself any time of year, bro. I don't care. I'll watch Jingle All the Way in the middle of July. I love that movie. Not even because it's a Christmas movie, but watching Jake Lloyd, fucking Anakin Skywalker, doing his horrible acting in this movie too. It wasn't George Lucas's fault. Fuck all you guys. The kid didn't deserve as much hate as he got, but at the same time, let's not lose sight of the fact that he's not a good kid actor. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So watching him doing to every fucking line and Arnold just going like, I gotta get this Turbo Man doll, and then Sinbad just going, this is fucking racist bullshit. The entire movie is it's gold. It's fantastic.
I'm gonna have to watch that. I remember seeing it when it came out, and
Sinbad is just yelling the entire time, being like, where's Rodney King when you need him? This is racial profile, and this is some bullshit, and all this, and Arnold's just running around I need the Turbo Man doll. And you get Anakin Skywalker, my dad doesn't love me anymore.
All because he's not getting a toy?
All because he's not getting a fucking Turbo Man toy. Yeah. Or he doesn't even know he's not getting it. He's just upset because his dad's been distant.
I remember seeing it a long, long time ago.
And you've got this creepy fucking dude in the neighborhood, too. There's a creepy dude in the neighborhood, and it's like, I remember a few years ago on Couch Potatoes, we did a deep dive on this movie, but I'll bring it to you. Watch this movie with this neighbor in mind. Within the first few minutes of you being introduced to this character, you have two lonely housewives coming up to him. Oh, so-and-so, I made you these cookies for helping me put up the yada yada in the house. And this is like, oh yeah, and thank you so much for the yada yada. And he's just like, oh, I just love being a good neighbor to everybody. Dude, he's fucking the entire neighborhood. And he's trying to move in on fucking Arnold's wife too. And like, he is just ruthless with this shit. He's just like, well, it's such a shame that, whatever the fuck his name was, is always working, and he's not here to help bake cookies with you and this, that, and the other. And she's like, oh, well, yeah, I guess. But dude, he is trying to get a piece of this ass the entire fucking movie. And it's fucking funny.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That does.
So yeah,
do you need is that a recipe that needs to be in a Christmas movie? You got to have the douche.
Yeah, I think you do. You kind of have it. Well, douche / nosy neighbor.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And usually the nosy neighbor winds up being the douche, but the douche can be traded for the nosy neighbor at times.
Who is the douche in the Christmas Story?
Farkas and his crew, the bullies.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So you had the bullies, and
also the dogs. The dogs are actually more douchey.
They ate the turkey.
They're just being fucking dogs, douchey dogs.
And what's your favorite scene from A Christmas Story?
Oh, fuck, dude.
Because there are so many good ones, but I've got mine off the top of my head immediately.
My favorite scene is just because of the way it's filmed and just the whole play of it is when he, changing the tire with his dad and he fucking hits it's the dad's fault too.
Fudge.
Hits the fucking thing. Yeah. And you see the lug nuts just
zooms
into his face and fudge. And
But
the dad's
I didn't
face,
say fudge.
and and the dad's look is like, what the
And I love the overreaction too. He gets back in the car. He's just like, you know what your son just said outside? What?
which totally sets up all my favorite scenes because that's the Lifebuoy soap. He's got to put it. And then his mom calls the fucking his friend. Do you know or no? What? Yeah. Oh, because he said
He learned it from his friend.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I can't either.
And then so she calls him up. You know where he heard it? Well, his father.
Yeah. No, your son. What?
Yeah. And you hear the kid, Mom, what? Screaming in the background. I can beat it. That is such a great fucking written fucking little chunk of movie right there, dude.
It is. That's almost my favorite. My favorite, though, is the very last, or the second to the last scene, because the very last scene is the mom and dad sitting on the couch looking outside being like, this was a good Christmas, and then, credits. It's the scene right before that. That's my favorite scene.
What is it?
Jingle bell, jingle bell.
Oh. Yeah, they go to the Chinese. That's the scene right before the end of the movie?
Yes.
I thought there was a little bit more movie after that. Okay, yeah.
Nope, that's
you're
right before it ends.
Right at the end.
And the reason it's my favorite, no, not because of the horrible way they're singing Jingle Bells and everything else, though that is still fucking hilarious. I don't care who you are, someone singing a song in a different accent is funny. I'm not laughing at the accent. I'm laughing at the fact I'm used to hearing this a certain way. Now I'm hearing it with a certain accent, and that is funny. Shoot me. I don't care.
I mean, and what's funny about it is, let's just be. It's a stereotype thing that's some people would say racist, and
that's the reason I'm getting in front of it is motherfuckers calling that racist card, and it's like, no, it's not racist.
Can you do it today? Could you do that? Put that in a movie today?
I honestly think you could. I think you could. Because it's in the way it's presented. Because the way it's presented in this movie is not in a hateful way.
No, and it's
it's not in a demeaning way either.
And it's the Asian guy trying to get them to sing it right too.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like no, and which is just
it's la la na, not fra ra ra.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah,
but the second reason that scene is my favorite, it is the only time 100% ad lib is done in that movie. Because
really?
Yes. Fun fact about that scene.
Was she laughing for real? And that's
the original way it was supposed to be shot was the, fa ra 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 and deck the halls, rah rah rah, all that. No. Just go back into the kitchen. They were supposed to just make a few comments, as they bring the duck out, and with the narration. That's when we were introduced to, a new Christmas tradition, Chinese turkey, shit like that. And then it was going to clip to the next thing. However, the woman playing the mom did not know they were going to bring the duck out with the head still on. She did not know that.
So she thought it was going to look just like a small turkey, and all
yes.
Boom.
So go rewatch the scene. Her reaction is 100% real. That like that, and now everyone's trying to work off that energy. So the kids lean up, oh, cool, all that, and you see I forget everyone's real names, but the dad, he's kind of chuckling and playing it off, being like, there's still a head on it, and you see the guy, brings out the cleaver, chops it off. So he knew that was going to be part of it. They didn't. So that was all done in one take. and their genuine reactions to that
Did the
is
dad
what
know,
made the movie.
or
No,
did-
the only
no,
people
okay.
that knew were the directors and stuff, and the guy bringing it out because he
Yeah.
was gonna chop the head off, and make it a
Yeah.
thing. All of their reactions though were 100% genuine. They did not tell him it was gonna look like that when it came out. So that adds to that layer for me and just makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah, that's awesome. Way to try to take the racism out of it, Alex.
And that's what we do here on Something Good For Ya.
Attempt things.
We attempt the nearly impossible over here.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, not only has this been a great episode, but I do need to wrap up here because my time is almost up. I sectioned off a certain part of this evening to be able to do this. I have a lot
Cool.
more shit to do this
Yeah, I
evening.
got stuff to do too, so.
Well, excellent. Well, again, unfortunately, we're skipping our what the fuck have we been listening to segment because all we did was fucking talk about shit we've been listening to because it's Christmas time, motherfuckers, getting the holly jolly spirit.
Yeah,
I definitely recommend the Gene Autry Christmas record, and Dave, you recommend the...
I'm going to go Phil.
Yep, the Phil Spector one.
A Christmas gift for you.
Excellent.
And then, dessert would be peanuts.
Dessert would be peanuts. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was thinking in a literal sense. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah.
You can have peanuts for dessert if you want, but I mean,
Be
I'm
fucking
talking
weird.
musically the Peanuts Christmas album for dessert. Yeah.
Definitely co-sign on that as the
Don't
second
eat the
choice.
Christmas album though. Dessert,
They're not very
I mean,
tasty.
Ear dessert.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. But yeah.
Ear candy. Ear candy.
Ear candy.
Sugar plums for your ears, baby.
Right on. Cool.
Well, if you like what we're doing, definitely check out the other shows on the network. Link is in the episode description and in this YouTube description. Still weird saying that. And if you're all watching this on YouTube, do all the YouTube shit. Like it, follow us, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, all that jazz. Don't be like Dave and sign up for our Discord. Link is in all the descriptions everywhere. I don't know if there's anything else to plug. Definitely the Something Good merch store. I'm gonna have those pint glasses up by the time folks are listening to this. I'm sorry, Dustin.
And your t-shirt store, Christmas, get a fucking t-shirt for Christmas.
Absolutely. We got the Something Good Network
Something
store
like
in
that.
that.
What is it?
I was gonna say we got the Something Good Network store, so you can get yourself a Something Good Network t-shirt or a Something Good For You shirt or a Couch Potatoes shirt. And then on the Fiend Media Club, we've got the Moonwalk Among Us and the Where's Dooley and all that goofy ass shit. All that will be down there. And Dave, again, thank you so much for joining me as always. Whenever you do a new episode of your show, I'll tell folks to listen to that.
I fucking haven't done anything on that for a long time.
Are y'all gonna do a Christmas episode?
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, well.
No. Matt's computer crashed, so, it's like...
Well, did his microphone fucking crash?
No, but I mean...
Well, there you go. You just re-download Zoom and bada bing, bada boom. What's he waiting on?
Well, he doesn't have a computer for Zoom.
Oh, I didn't know. Well, usually when you hear crash, meaning like it was able to like reboot, but you just lose all your memory.
No, I think it's like his...
Oh, full blue screen.
Yeah, doesn't work at all, so he's got to buy a new computer. Which he can at Walmart for like $130, but that's still $130.
Hey, trust me, I'm nickel and diamond looking at fucking $20 going, motherfucker. So no, I feel that.
We're not doing anything, I'm just waiting on them, those guys, and probably start it up then, but fuck, whatever, we'll just do this,
Absolutely. And I've been talking to some folks, and who knows, maybe we'll be adding another show to the network by the start of the year, so network can... I'm not going to say anything yet, but it's not going to be someone connected to anything or anyone here. It's going to be the first 100% outside the network show.
Oh, cool.
Yes, and that's going to be pretty fun.
Unless it sucks.
Or if it doesn't come to be, I'm just hoping it does. It seems as if it will.
Oh, I understand why you don't want to say anything about it now.
Exactly! As if it doesn't come to be, then I'm not held to anything.
But you already teased something, so if
something will happen. I just don't know if it'll be an ongoing show or not, but something
it might not be
will
that
happen.
thing, but eventually something will happen.
That's why I like my wordplay. Well, guys, again, thank you so much for joining us. And Dave, do you have any sort of wise wisdom for the folks out there this holiday season?
Oh, well, make something happen. Anything, just make it happen.
Make anything happen. Jeez.
Yeah, and then send it to Alex so he can put it on here.
There you go.
Right on, man.
Tune in next time, guys.
All right, it's good talking to you.
Old St. Nick's got bourbon breath. It's so cold you could catch your death. A cop sold me some crystal meth. It's a merry fucking Christmas. Everything's so Christmassy. The streets are twinkling with frozen tea. My priest just sat on Santa's knee. It's a merry fucking Christmas. All the kids go to bed each night to dream what Santa brings them. Unless they're Jewish or Muslim or some other gyp religion. Crappy toys flying off the shelves. Midgets dressed up to look like elves. Spread good cheer or burn in hell. It's a merry fucking Christmas. All the kids go to bed each night to dream what Santa brings them. Unless they're Jewish or Muslim or some other gyp religion. Crackling fires to keep me warm, and my collection of Asian born. Cradle my bells and work my horn. It's a keep on truckin', last year suckin', midget chuckin', slap the puckin'. How much wood could a woodchuck chuckin'? Merry fucking Christmas! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Shut up.
You've been listening to the Something Good Network. If you liked what you heard, you can follow us on Instagram, and check out the other great shows on the network. Link is in the episode description.